I'm gonna be going over how I was able to make $400 shorting the S&P 500. Full breakdown to end off the month of May. So diving into it, you can see here I netted a 2.9R, but let's go over the pre-market plan for today and what I was watching for today was it already stemmed from last night's activity. Because here at 8:23 p.m. yesterday, there's some strange activity at the 7.5s, and the 70s is exactly a 5 point interval, and there was some large buying as the market was moving down. And then at 6:16, I posted right off of the 5:30 news. There was some more large buying right into the 7.2s, and that offer comes back up again to defend its position. And I don't have a visual of this, but I can show you here. There was over 2,000 positive delta being transacted at the open, or not open, the pre-market session. So with this context, I wanted to watch out for that general region and just to update and explain what I posted here. ES flipped sentiment to the downside because we were in this balance range, and since we were gapping under, finding acceptance, now I'm focused on downside structure and to see if there are highly likely to be tested. And on the daily visual, you could see here balance broke out, and then we put in that lower high. And essentially what I was watching for, which today was the 6.4s and the 7.5s, which acted as last week's low. The reason why I was watching for the 6.4s was because this was the 2-day balance high before he broke out into all-time highs. You can see here, initial breakout from this 2-day composite. We broke out into those all-time highs, so that was going to be an important key inflection coming in. And this is what the market looks like coming in to the trading day for me. But what was key context was the NASDAQ. Despite the weakness on ES, even though we were coming into a key area, NASDAQ was coming into a macro trendline support that stems from this swing low and acted as support twice in the current recent conditions. And what I was essentially watching for the game plan was if ES were to remain bid above the 6.4s with this context of NQ bouncing from that trendline support, I was open to finding ways to play long, speculating the 7.5s will get tested. And with that same context, I was open to playing a reclaim back above last week's low as well, above the 7.5 into the 8.6s. And my final scenario was based off of ES flipping in a daily downtrend and has yet to breach back above a prior day high. I was open to finding offers to step in at the 7.5, 7.2, 7.2 stems from the positive delta I was spotting, targeting 6.4s first. So as far as the trade, we'll go over. So 6.34, I actually tried taking a stab short on this reaction down. You can see here, bunch of buying. We came right into the 7.2s. And look at the reaction off of that. 3,000 positive delta. We attempted to break out of the overnight highs, and then it failed. I tried entering in, but my trading was locked when I tried getting in, and then so I ended up missing out on that. But I didn't put my head down. I was like, okay, new opportunity could present itself. and we came right into the 6 4s off of that. You can see this is a 1 minute visual of what happened. So I missed out on this entry. I didn't put my head down, and we came right into the 6 4s. And at the same time, give me a second. Okay. At the same time, NQ was coming into that trendline support in the RTH session, and I ended up taking longs on that reaction down, but I ended up getting a shitty fill. So how I was gonna manage my risk was I was risking 3.25 points, and I was treating it like a buy stop trade based off my shitty fill. But I was always willing to re-enter. I'm always willing to re-enter trades. And how I was gonna manage the position was, since I was looking for a re-entry into the 7-2, 7-4s region from the morning sellers, I wanted to gauge the reaction and get out there and manage it differently than I usually do, because I was looking to get in short there. So to give context, again, I'm still in longs. This is the confirmations I've had. Right here, I'm just updating myself. And you can see here, this is what the DOM looked like, the volume by price. 3,000 lots at 7-2s. But the 6-5s continue to defend as well. So now we come right into the sellers region that I was looking to get short in. But keep in mind, I'm still in longs, and my target was 7-5s. But I was willing to get out here and let it develop. Off of that reaction, I already had a sour taste, and I let it develop one more time, and off of that tape reaction, I got out for a break even trade because I had to follow my risk management. And right here, I'm just updating myself saying like I would have gone short there, to be honest. And I was like, this was kind of iffy for me because I don't normally get out of positions before my stop loss or TP hits, but in this case, it's very unique because I was looking to get short here and I was reacting to the flows of the market. It's here at 706 was when I re-entered short and flipped, because we came right into the 7-2s, we filled this offer, and we started to move back down off of that. So I flipped to the short side, like I said. You can see the delta being transacted. This is what the market looked like when I got in. And we came right back into this guy. We continued to fill the 7-2s. The 7-2s from the morning, the same guy. It's here, 1,587. And at its highest point, it was over 8,000 lots. And at this point, you have to ask yourself, like, even if you're not in yet or you're not in a position, you got to ask yourself, why is there 8,000 positive delta, but the market can't move any higher? If the market can't move any higher, then is that positive delta really a buyer or seller? You got to ask yourself this as part of the market auction. You can see here, offer steps back in, and after this reaction, show the tape. That guy got filled, and the offer reloaded. We moved aggressively down off of that, and my target for this was the 6-4s. Immediately worked out in my favor off of that. 6-4s target ended up hitting. And how I managed it was, if selling gets strong, I was going to press it into low of day, and that's exactly what I did. This is what the market looked like when I got out the 63.25s. And in hindsight, I will say I wish I would have held more, but all that matters is I followed my plan, and that's all that matters. because no one's gonna know what's gonna happen next in the market. And the key lesson out of that was going with the flows of the market and not being a statue, because if I was a statue down at these lows and I just let my stop loss get hit, ignoring this tape information at the highs, it would have bit me in the ass because I'm not going with the flows of market intervals. And again, just to emphasize that fact, market can't move any higher off of this 8,000 positive delta. The market should be moving up off of that, buying, but it didn't. So the market leaves hints and clues as to where it could head next. And this is at a high of day area too. It left this hint since 5:30 a.m. For risk parameters, to go over it real quick, I was just seeing 3.5 on that trade to make 7.75, realizing a 2.19R, which is not my usual 2.5 plus, but you got to take what the market gives you, and you can't be greedy. Even though the market, yeah, it did move further down past my target, I can't predict that or know what's going to happen next off of that. So I'll take a hit and run trade like that. So I'm going to end off the month because I'm not going to trade tomorrow. So these are my monthly stats to keep it transparent. You could see 7.61R, 1.24 profit factor. Decent month. The main thing I really focus on is my average win-loss trade. And hit rate doesn't matter as much, but you can always improve it based off of the quality of your setups. But this is the most important because that ensures your longevity in the market and how much you're risking compared to how much you're winning. And I take pride in keeping this above a 2.5R. So I'll take a small month like this, and I'm gonna end up on that.